Hello, all you well-trained snipers. This is KingLink, and I'm doing a last look and review of Sniper Elite 4. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, as I would appreciate that and would help me reach 100 viewers, which will get me a unique URL on YouTube. That's just something I'm aiming for, so I appreciate any assistance with that. Now, this is the second in my series of the Humble Monthly Bundle for September 2018. We've already looked at Staxel, so if you want to see that, it's on the channel. I am working on Tales of Berseria. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But we're actually here to talk about Sniper Elite 4. Now, let me start with a spoiler warning. I am showing the 5th mission of 8 total missions. Normally I look for the second mission of a game because that's right after the first mission and then I can talk over it. But the thing is, there's something kind of important here. I'll get to that in a second, but if you want no spoilers, consider playing the video without looking at the images on the screen. So let me get to that important point because it's one of my big things about this game. Now, Sniper Elite 4 is about World War II and is preceding Operation Avalanche. You're placed into Italy and you're constantly helping the Americans and British in Italy, as well as the partisans. In this mission, you're actually fighting against a major enemy with the last name Capo in the Black Brigade, which is an Italian military group. Now, there's two major issues here. First, the Black Brigade was formed about 2 months after Operation Avalanche, and that happens after the game. And they shouldn't be around. Now, the second problem, and the bigger problem with this entire game, is you're in Italy, you're fighting Germans here. That's all you fight in this game. You always fight Germans, and that's the thing. The Black Brigade officer, it's represented by another Nazi. So yeah, you're fighting Nazis, and I admit, I don't mind that. You know, I understand why developers put Nazis in. They're easy targets of hate. You can always find people who want to kill Nazis. But you're in Italy. I would have liked to fight at least some fascists. It doesn't have to be the entire game, and maybe some people will have some opinions about that, but they're equally bad. They worked with the Nazis. Especially when you're helping the Italian Liberation Organization known as the Partisans. At least that's how I think it's said. Anyways, you know, you're killing Nazis in this game. You're not killing fascists. Okay, that's my rant. At the same time, admittedly, if you like Nazis, if you like Hitler, well, two things. First off, you're probably not going to like this game, and second thing, I have to say this, fuck off. And well, I'd love to say that's the least controversial thing I've said on this channel. I'm pretty sure that actually might be the most controversial thing, because this is 2018. Anyways, with that said, let's move on to the main review. Now, the story here in this game is actually rather good, but it's mostly an icing on the cake situation. The gameplay is what you're coming for, and while there's reasons to do everything in the game, it's a bit loose. You have some dialogue at the beginning of a mission, then you go and talk to a few people, maybe 5 to 10 minutes of time, and then you'll run through a level which can take an hour or two of stealth gameplay. Then go back to get 5 more minutes of story and start another level that way. The thing is, the amount of the story is just too little to become a major draw of the game. And the thing is, there's pieces of the story that I rather like. You know, I really like a few things here. But the thing is, I don't want to talk about them due to spoilers, and at the same time, the story isn't intended to be the major thrust of the game. You're a sniper, go snipe stuff. So with that said, that's what you're kind of coming for. The gameplay. And in the gameplay, you are a sniper, but be aware that you're also a bit of a saboteur and, okay, a ninja, let's also say. You will snipe enemies quite a bit, but you're also going to be blowing up structures, destroying targets as necessary, and finding information. So let's talk about those missions that you're going to get. All of the missions in the game actually fall into, okay, 4 categories, but if I'm honest, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 1. Let me explain what I mean. So, there's going to be the missions where you have to find a certain amount of documents. In this case, you usually have to find 4 or 5 of them, and you'll just go to locations and look around. You'll eventually find a desk in a house or a room, and you'll find an envelope that's shining on it. The minimap will point it out if you can't figure out which piece it is. And when you do this, you just have to walk up and hit X to grab the document. Sometimes they're in safes that have to be cracked with maybe a code or blown open, but again, you walk up after you blow it open and hit X. Okay, so the second mission type is kind of similar. You walk up to certain targets and you have to hit X to disable them or activate them, whatever has to happen. They're similar, but they aren't based on actual letters. Okay, so those are two that sounds alike. Then there's going to also be saboteur type missions where you walk up to a target and hit X to place a satchel charge on it, possibly hitting X a second time to put a timer on it, or you could walk away and shoot that satchel charge yourself. Okay, that's similar to the first two missions, but the explosions mean there's a little more attention paid once it goes off. Finally, we have the fourth type of mission, and it's the obvious one. It's the killing mission or the sniping mission, however you want to kill them. In this one, we're going to go off and kill Capo. Now, Capo is a great example. He actually has a rosary that you have to recover as the game tells you to, and you do this by walking over and to the corpse and hitting X again. Okay, so I'm sure most of you noticed all of these missions have a bit of the similarity in walking over and hitting X. Not every mission is the same. There's a number of missions where you just kill the officer and you don't have to go and collect something off of them, but that's kind of a big problem for me for this game. There's very little variety. At the same time, I think there's not much you could really do with these missions for this game without taking away from the great gameplay in this game. What gameplay is that? Well, you're an SOE officer. This is different than the previous games, which had him as an OSS officer. It changes him from the American side to the British side. Not a major change, but I think I like it a bit more. I like that, A, the British are getting more notice for the contributions, and B, I feel like Carl Fairburn, which is his name, would be a British officer. He's been in the war for a decent amount of time here. Anyways, you're basically dropped into different maps and have to make your way to each mission and target on the map. Now, you could run directly between each point, but you're going to gain a lot of heat, a lot of notice, and of course a lot of bullets in your head. The better way, and the way the game clearly wants you to play it, is with stealth, or at least pseudo-stealth. And while that might not appeal to a lot of people, the stealth in this game is relatively good. Relatively. Now, what I mean by that is the AI is a bit weak, but at the same time you have a lot of tools and opportunities to avoid being seen. And even when you are seen by the AI, you can actually break detection pretty easily. You'll notice that I drop to my belly quite often. That breaks a lot of detection. Enemies will walk to where they saw you, but there's time for you to get away. Now, one of the reasons I disliked Sniper Elite V2 was because it felt like the game really wouldn't allow you to play stealthfully. There's points in the game where it just feels like you have to go loud, otherwise it's just painful. In Sniper Elite 4, at the very least, you're heavily allowed to play stealthfully, and I think the game tries to incentivize that, especially with the tools it gives you. Now, it might not feel like the fastest way through the level, but in my experience, it really is. The big firefights tend to require more restarts, and also just slows you down, especially because all the enemies now want to kill you. It's up to you really if you want to go stealthily or go loud, but honestly, stealth is definitely, I think, the way they wanted you to go. So with that said, the sniping. Now, the sniping is a bit easy, honestly, and I do play a normal, which only gives me bullet drop. It doesn't give me wind direction. That's just how I'm playing the game. That's my opinion on my favorite way to play the game. But the one thing that is in this game that will be a little bit controversial is the aim assist, and it's going to be a question for the players. The good news is, if you really don't want to deal with geometry or the bullet drop or knowing the wind, the aim assist will actually tell you where the bullets will hit. It will actually hit the targets pretty accurately, so if you have a target and there's something very far away between the two, the game will show you which piece is actually going to hit. At the same time, aim assist makes it really easy, so you can be extremely accurate with it and can make almost any shot a cakewalk. On the other hand, if you want it gone, you can turn it off very easily. Now, in addition, you're also going to see a little gore in this playthrough, and the fact is, Sniper Elite is known for its gory kill cams. Yeah, they're still here, and still very gory, but at the same time, they don't appear too often in my opinion, and actually do feel rewarding when you do make a great shot. So, it feels like it's an awesome moment, you know, celebrating your shot rather than, oh, another kill cam. Now, you can increase or decrease the frequency of them, or of course turn them off. It's up to you, but it is a major feature of the series. I want to call it out. And finally, I feel like I have to mention the collectibles in this game. There's just so many, and honestly, I even will say that there's too many here. There's so many collectibles that I really collected just one category of 4 or 5 letters due to the number and the different places they are. Now, for completionists, that might be a good thing for you, but I think Rebellion just put too many collectibles on each level of the game. That's up to them. There's more to this game. I don't want this review to be too long, but you can check my written review if you want to know more. I'm not fully sold on the AI, and you can see it here. A few shots and the enemies are alerted. An enemy can watch a friend die, but it doesn't change too much. And it's relatively easy to sneak through. Still, that's an AI discussion. Check the written review. There's also challenges on each level that I'm not thrilled with. I'll be honest, I didn't actually play much of the online opportunities here. I couldn't find a good group for the multiplayer, and I didn't play the 2 co-op missions or the survivor mission. However, I played the entire single-player campaign, about 17 hours of my time, and I don't think any of the rest will really change my opinion. You know, it's a good game. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those modes. It's just, unless you have someone already there to play that co-op mission with, you might have trouble finding a party. So the thing is, you see, I like Sniper Elite 4, but I feel that there's a few things holding it back. Definitely the missions could be a lot better, or at least more diverse. The AI isn't completely amazing. It probably shouldn't be fully realistic, so that the game's a little bit easier for the player, but the game could have a little bit more interesting AI. And the game is limited by being just a sniper game for players who want to play a sniper game. And that's fine, and I appreciate the opportunity to play a sniper game, but if you don't really want to play a stealth or sniping game, admittedly, you probably should pass on this. It is fun for those 2 categories if you want to play them, but it's also the 4th in this series, and, well, easily the best of the 2 I played. I only played B2 and 4. I have 3, I haven't played it yet. It just plays it a bit too safe in my opinion. So, with that said, I'm going to give Sniper Elite 4 a 4 out of 5. Yep, no pun intended there, of course. It's good for what it is, and right now it's on the Humble Bundle for $12 on the monthly deal. It's a great deal. Definitely check it out if you're interested in either stealth or sniping. So that was Sniper Elite 4's review. I hope you enjoyed it. So the channel update. I am going to have to run a Mega Man X Legacy Collection review next. That's the first one of the 2-pack. And the reason for that is I want to review the Humble Monthly Bundle games. I do have one more, Tales of Berseria, but I'm not going to be done with it anytime soon, honestly. I'll try to get it done so that after that review I don't have to try and find something else to review, but it's a long one, I'll be honest. I'm already at 45 hours into it, and I think I'm close to the second third of the game done. It's great, but I want to tell you about the entire game, or at least give you my full summation of it. I also have something to do for work I need to deal with, so with that all said, I hope you look forward to both of those reviews, Mega Man X Legacy and Tales of Berseria. And until then, I'm King Link, and I'm out of here.